Repeat of the grand final at Old Trafford of Super League 6. The Wigan Warriors take on the Bradford Bulls. A chilly night here in Wigan, but it's dry, thankfully, and the pitch not in bad condition considering all the rain that we've had in this country over the past month or so. It's a perfect night for a perfect start to the big season. The Wigan Warriors, they've lost just once at home in the weekly rounds of Super League since moving here from Central Park. They've won 25 and drawn 2 of 28 home league fixtures. One of the draws was against the Bradford Bulls, who've been licking their wounds for 3 weeks since they lost to Leeds just a week after winning the World Club Championship in glorious fashion against the Newcastle Knights. But they've never won here at the JJB Stadium, which is the Wigan Warriors' fortress. Radlinski is their fullback. Dallas, Ainscough, Connolly and Carney, O'Neill and Lamb at halfback. Up front, O'Connor, Newton, there's no Craig Smith, so Harvey Howard comes in, Cassidy, Furner the second row, and Farrell is the loose forward and captain. Craig Smith apart, just about at full strength. On the bench, Johnson, a return to action for Simon Horton, and 2 youngsters, 20-year-old Stephen Wild, 19-year-old Ricky Bybee, and the coach is Stuart Raper. Now the champions and the World Club champions, the Bradford Bulls. Withers is the fullback, wearing Henry Paul's number 6 of last year. It's Vicona, no Naylor, so Costin plays in the centres, alongside Gilmore and the Volcano, Vinokolos on the wing. Robbie Paul's the captain still at standoff, and young Paul Deakin is the scrum half. And the forwards, Vanganar, Lowes and McDermott, Gartner and Peacock and Forshaw. First choice pack for Brian Noble. And on the bench, McAvoy comes out of the wilderness, Anderson, Radford and Stuart Fielden, the 4th member of the awesome foursome. Coach is Brian Noble. Robbie Paul leads out his men, knowing that they have played here 5 times previously. The best that they've done is a 12-all draw on their very first visit in June 2000. They finished top of the tree last year. Look at the points they scored. And their defence was pretty mean. Top of the tree, champions, try scorers all over the park, and in James Lowes they have the man of the match in the World Club Championship against the Newcastle Knights. And Robbie tipped for a big season. He injured his neck in the World Club Championship and in the game at Leeds. And out he comes onto this ground where these fans know Bradford have never, ever won before. Tonight is the night as far as they're concerned. The captain, Andy Farrell, leads Wigan out. No fewer than 12 men, by the way, who faced Australia last autumn. 6 from each side are on show here tonight. We have the top stars of the Super League to kick the season off. Big chance for Harvey Howard. He knows Craig Smith has moved in, and Julian O'Neill. Wonder what thoughts are going through that young man's mind as he makes his Super League bow for the Warriors here. Terrific welcome for Wigan. Revenge, well, that's the key for this lot.
Is on the mind of not only the players but these wonderful fans that have turned up. They expect so much. They've had so much success in the past, and only a trophy here will appease them. Radlinski, the fullback, had a magnificent season last year, as all the players did, first and second in the league. Of course, these two played the grand final. It will be a tough encounter. Julian O'Neill, if he plays it the best, then Wigan, I feel, have a great chance. His combination with Adrian Lamb will be so important, as is Robbie Paul and Paul Deakin for the Bulls.
So let's get ready to rumble in 2002. It is the perfect start. The 2 best teams in the competition last year will bat it out for 80 minutes on the opening night of the Tetley's Super League. And Paul Deakin will get us underway. Here we go. Every one of these players has a date in October in their mind. They want the grand final again. Thundering challenge early from McDermott on Terry McDermott and on Terry O'Connor, and O'Connor, well, he felt that.
Well, we said it was going to be a rough encounter, especially early in this game. Remember, Brian Noble and Bradford, they realised that if they got on top of Wigan, like they did in the grand final in their forwards, that the three-quarters will come to the fore late on, and it's very strong tackling from the Bulls at the moment.
Opening set of 6, so important. It will set the stall out. McDermott in very quickly again, this time on Harvey Howard, and with Daniel Gartner, he got him to the ground. It's the last tackle here for Wigan. They're deep inside their own half of the field. Lamb puts boot to ball. It bounces once in front of Michael Withers, and Withers will run this ball back now. So let's see what Bradford can do. Good chase, good challenge there from David Ferner.
Well, Brian McDermott, the Bulls prop forward, has certainly showed his intention. 2 big hits on both props. Terry O'Connor first, then Harvey Howard.
So important that Wigan get a good start in here this evening. Remember, the match at Old Trafford in the grand final last year was over. Well, I said by half-time, it was over after about 20 minutes. On halfway, ball is played, and here is James Lowes trying to get away, but that's good covering there by Harvey Howard.
Tracked him well, and that's been pulled away.
No,
that's
it's not gone.
He lost control of it, according to the referee, Stuart Cummings. No expression on the coach, Brian Noble. He knows that it's going to be a tough encounter. A little bit of a nod there from Jimmy to his teammates. But I think the referee got it right.
Head in, please, Lee.
He just lost control of it.
Head in and stay in. Stay in, Brian.
Ball is in, the ball is out. Lamb gets it away, and here is Radlinski. He skirts away from one. He gets the pass away. That was to Ainscough, and Ainscough, well, he flicked the ball out wide. There was nowhere at all that Brett Dallas could go. He was enveloped immediately. And here now is Farrell.
Good work from the fullback, Chris Radlinski. Came on the arc round the back of that scrum base.
O'Connor to drive it in.
But it's pretty high.
Brian McDermott, well, he's been flying into the tackles early, has Brian McDermott. And that was an illegal one.
Just went a little bit too high there. You can see right into the face of the prop forward O'Connor. As I mentioned before, that Brian McDermott come off with 2 big hits in the first 60 seconds. Caught out on that occasion. Little doubt in the mind of the official. And not surprisingly, they're going to go for the 2 points. It's in a handy position.
Well, it is for a kicker of Farrell's quality. 28 points last Saturday in France. But he also recorded, by the way, his 80th Wigan try. 388 points last year, a new Super League record. And here's the opportunity to get his tally clicking over in 2002. Just over 3 minutes gone. First opportunity for points on the board to the Wigan captain. And the roar from the Bradford fans will tell you behind the posts, he's missed.
Well, not the best start for Stuart Raper, the coach, and the skipper, Andy Farrell. But nerves will play its part here. They will get the ball from the kick-out.
Which they do. Radlinski traps it with the boot, picks it up, tips the ball inside to Terry O'Connor. McDermott this time, copybook round the ankles. And here now is the Irishman, Brian Carney.
Pretty good defence from the Bulls. They're working hard, first and second marker. They've caught Wigan out, carrying the ball on the first receiver. Less than 4 times already.
Andy Farrell, the man with the silver boots, played the ball. It was with Lamb, now it's with O'Neill, and he flicks the pass to Mick Cassidy, and Deacon does well to grab him round the ankles. Connolly was the dummy half. Here's the big fella Harvey Howard. He looked to turn and offload then, but he couldn't. He was surrounded by 3 Bradford Bulls defenders. This is the last, and there's the kick. Newton with the high kick, and 2 of them after it. Michael Withers took control, and Withers, the hero of the grand final last year with the hat-trick, winning him the Harry Sunderland Award as man of the match. He diffuses that situation, and here's the volcano!
Oh, the crowd loved that. I certainly did. Farrell on the volcano, a little bit over-ambitious.
Burner's having a second chance, having a second do at his ankle. But
that really was a clash of the big guys. Wow! That's warmed it all up out there.
Well, David Verner, Leslie Vinacolo, former teammates of the Canberra Raiders in Australia, very much in opposition here tonight. Stuart Cummings tried to keep Wigan back the full 10 metres before James Lowe's foot touches the ball. Now they can close in. McDermott makes 5 metres and he then is clattered to the ground.
Interesting to see how the volcano, Savita Vaikonu was, Vinacolo should I say, was utilised there. He went back to help Withers in the full-back position, came right across from the opposite side. That's obviously a new ploy that Brian Noble, the Bulls coach, will be implementing all throughout this year, I'm sure.
Not the happiest of hunting grounds, the town of Wigan, for Bradford over the years, and they haven't won here at the JJB Stadium yet. They've had 5 previous attempts. This is attempt number 6, and here is Mike Forshaw, a former Wigan star, and he bounces away and gets the pass into Banganar, and he will drive it in, and the support arrives from Deacon, and it's play on, and that's the last tackle. Bradford are within 15 metres of the line. It's spun out wide. Robbie Paul got the ball through, bouncing all over the place. Cassidy picks up, play on, says referee Stuart Cummings.
Not a bad option, but too many feet and legs got in the way there. But what a great build-up from the Bulls. Not the best kick in the end.
And what a fabulous start to Super League 7. 6.5 minutes of rip-roaring action. If it's going to be like this all the way through to October, I trust you'll book your seats at every ground and every place where Super League is played. If you can't be there, the next best thing is with us here on Sky Sports. We offer you the best seat in the house twice a week.
Well, they said in the Standard, this is tough, I can assure you. A little bit at 6s and 7s, Wigan. I think they've been blitzed yet again. Because of the forward power, there's quite a few offloads coming from the Bulls at the moment.
Vinacolo, the tackle not completed, still not completed, and now it is by Newton. Vinacolo lost the boot. They are pretty powerful again, Bradford.
Interesting to know that Wigan kicking towards Vinacolo's wing. They obviously feel perhaps that his inexperience is still only a young kid.
That's exactly what Leeds did 3 weeks ago, Steve-O. They tested him out.
Well, he's done well so far. Not the best pass from McDermott. Picked up by Lowe's there.
The other problem with Leslie Vinacolo, match fitness. He only played a handful with Canberra Raiders last year. 8, I think. That's the last tackle. Joe Banganar beginning his 2nd season with the Bulls. Here's Robbie Paul. He'll hoist the crossfield kick. That's hanging. That's high. And that is well claimed on that far side. Brian Carney.
Oh, it looked as though it bobbled there. It was under a lot of pressure from Lee Gilmore. But it was a superb kick from the skipper, Robbie Paul. Carney did well to finish up with a football. Good work again from the centre, Gary Connolly. That's the 3rd time he's run from dummy half. He wants to quick play the ball.
Adrian Lamb tips it back on the inside to Farrell. They were waiting for him, and the referee's whistle again.
Well, that's
Brian McDermott is wanted.
Yep, he'll be put on a warning here. He has to.
There's nothing in him, but you're going high. You've got to get down, right? You've got to get down.
Just tackling technique, Mr. Cummings isn't happy with. 2 men who are enjoying a testimonial year, as we mentioned in our pre-match build-up, McDermott and Farrell. Take that for your testimonial.
Well over the shoulder, right into the neck. They wouldn't have done Andy Farrell's Adam's apple any use, I can assure you. That they've got to be very careful, though, Bradford, because giving away these penalties, allowing Wigan to get out of their own half.
Good sweeping move from side to side by Wigan. 2-1 the penalty count in their favour, but Connolly was grounded, and here now is Brian Carney. Carney into the face of James Lowe's with a little bit of help from Banganar. He was brought down. Now this is O'Connor again. McDermott is pretty high and round the shoulders, but legal on that occasion. He got the ball away, but straight to Lowe's. And here's Gilmore now, another former Wigan player in the Bradford lineup.
Well, you can see the prop forward O'Connor. It was a silly pass, he didn't need it. Well, he's certainly testing out tonight, isn't he? Getting to a lot of work is Vinacolo.
Mike Forshaw offloads well. Brilliant hands there from Robbie Paul. Oh, that was forward, and the ball from Withers to Brandon Costin was spotted by the touch judge.
Little doubt in my mind. And The touch judge is in agreement. Putting a lot of pressure there from Dallas, and he just held on, costed just half a metre in front. The high shot will prove it. And it is. Not much in it. Withers not too happy with it. Golden opportunity there. Well, they've got the upper hand of the Bulls at the moment, and I'm sure Brian Noble will be a little bit disappointed that they haven't put points on the board yet. Wigan look at 6s and 7s. They've not had the opportunity to go and find the qualities of the two halfbacks, Julian O'Neill and Adrian Lamb, as yet.
Wigan aiming for a third grand final at Old Trafford in a row, but they want to win it this time. They lost to St Helens in 2000, the Bulls, of course, dramatically last year. 0-0, opening encounter of Super League 7, the start of a long, hot summer of rugby league here on Sky Sports. And if it's going to be like this, as I say, for the next 9 months or so, there won't be any complaints from us too. Lamb the dummy half. The pace of the match is unrelenting in the opening exchanges.
Well, what worked from Brian McDermott is like a yo-yo, going low one moment, going high the other.
Here's another tester for Vainicolo. Oh, he was up to that, but they couldn't get to him, Wigan. O'Neill and Cassidy eventually did.
Good work from support from his players there. It was a good kick into him. Watch how the Bradford players shield him. And gave him the opportunity to take it. It was good work there from the skipper, Robbie Paul.
Tavita Vicona, the big Tongan. They've got some power in the three quarters with Vicona on one side and Vainicolo on the other. Like two extra forwards.
Well, he's big, big, big all across the paddock, isn't it?
Lowe's, that's a good run. It was the last one. And wait for the kick here from Deacon. There it is, just a little dab over the top. And Radlinski will stop that from finding touch. Back they come again. Wigan in the shape of the fullback.
Good positioning by Radlinski, but it was a fine kick from Paul Deacon. You could see he had the backspin on it, which just sort of stop on this ground.
Not too much to choose between the two sides in the opening 12 minutes of the Super League season. Newton was the dummy half. This now is Mick Cassidy. Almost 300 appearances for Wigan now. Farrell, good run. Hole has opened up for Farrell down the middle. He's got Radlinski in support. Farrell finds Radlinski. Radlinski jigs inside. Ball goes backwards. It's picked up by Ainscow. And they've dropped it. Terry Newton
has bombed it. What a wonderful piece of play from the Wigan skipper, Farrell. Went through on the angle. There was an enormous gap there. The first time that they've breached it, and it finishes up with a woeful effort. To be fair to the hooker, Terry Newton, he was going one way and the ball was just coming back on the angle. But they have blown a golden opportunity.
Well, it was a wonderful break from Farrell, but then it became very untidy, and in the end, Newton knocked on, and that won't please Stuart Raper, who is beginning his first full season in charge. 2 wins so far, but a big test here tonight against the Bulls, and that's James Lowes, who eventually takes the tackle and was looking for the second phase, which never came. This is Robbie Paul now, and he just changes direction, but Cassidy was waiting for him and snared him in the tackle. Good defence.
Well,
tackle.
That's lifted the Warriors, that break from Andy Farrell.
Oh, slice from Deacon. It's gone backwards.
Just going to say that
Withers tried to get the ball away, and Wigan have it back.
It really has lifted the spirits of Wigan. They were finding it difficult to breach this solid defence, but that break from the skipper Farrell, it certainly lifted them a gear.
This is Brett Dallas now. The first real break then, courtesy of this fellow, Andrew Farrell, and Wigan couldn't capitalise on it.
And it was good work as well by the skipper, because he came back from a very deep position and then just jinked his way through on the arc. And there was an enormous hole there in the Bradford defence.
Quick play the ball there from Wigan. That's what's needed. This is Lamb, and there he saw a space, and that was a great tackle. Low down by Lowes. Last tackle now for Wigan. They're about 30 metres away. The kick off the outside of the boot from O'Neill. Yet another tester for Vainicolo. And he's dropped it. Knocks it back. And this will be 6 to go for Wigan.
That's what they were looking for.
No, knock on.
Well, he's got to take it because the advantage didn't go to Wigan. He played it to Stuart Cummings, and he's come up with the right decision. This will be head and feet. Well, this is what Wigan were after.
There's the first knock on. That's why the scrum goes down. It's Wigan's head and feet, even though Cassidy made a mess of it.
This is a break from Farrell.
Come on, let's go!
And there were plenty of Indians. Farrell's the chief, but there they just blew it back on the inside. You could see how Newton was just coming slightly on an angle.
Wigan with a chance there from Farrell. Important tackle. It goes wide and looping into the arms of Julian O'Neill. He then gives it to Gary Connolly. Connolly gets away from one, can't get away from the second, Joe Banganar. Terry Newton waits, Wigan at 10 metres away, O'Connor on the charge. A drive in to within 6 metres of the line. Newton directing the traffic at dummy half, pointed right, went left. Newton! First try! It's not given yet. He wants to check the grounding.
All right, we're looking at the grounding, and you're looking at the grounding. If the ball's come loose, which I think it has, we're looking to see how it came out, whether it was dropped or whether it was stolen. He's definitely true in the tackle.
Beautiful dummy. Now then, was it reefed out? Did he lose it? At this point, he has lost control. It's NOTRY. First of the season, the opportunity has been bombed yet again. Well, it's been Bradford that have been controlling the open exchanges, but Wigan have had two glorious opportunities. Now then, they've got to decide, did Withers knock this ball out deliberately, or does Newton lose it? I think it's the latter, and this will mean that Bradford will get a lucky escape. Yeah, Withers goes for the arm, not the ball, so therefore it will be a big let-off. No doubt about NOTRY, that is for sure.
And a 20-metre restart, because Newton is deemed to have knocked on, and Stuart Raper knows that his men have had two glorious opportunities, and Bradford have escaped on both occasions.
Well, to be fair, Stuart Raper wasn't blowing up. I think he realises that after seeing the replay that he did lose control of it. Withers went for the arm and not the ball. It's all happening, and we expected it.
High now from Harvey Howard.
Jim, wait. Harvey, you've gone over his shoulders. You can't do that. It's exactly the same as their tackles.
Jamie Peacock feeling that from Harvey Howard.
Ooh, he cocked it, didn't he? It was well and truly loaded. Didn't get the best shot away, but oh, what a mistake that is.
But I think they've got away with it.
Well, now the knock on, they have. The Bulls, that is. They've just gone into their shell, and the Bulls at the moment being put on the rack.
Dallas
did well, didn't he?
He really did well, but he knocked it forward. That's our lines on Brett Dallas, but Bradford will not be complaining. Here is Forshaw, scampering round at the base of the scrum. Cassidy and Howard were quickly out to deny him. Here now is Banganar. 17.5 minutes gone. Can Bradford pierce the Wigan defence? Deacon, Withers, back it goes on the inside to Robbie Paul. Good hands, Withers has joined in again. Surely Wigan have done their homework about Michael Withers after that hat-trick in the grand final. It's now with the big fellas up the middle. It's Gartner, and he's stopped and hauled to the ground.
Terry back up.
Lows at dummy half. Bradford 10 metres away, looking for the runners. It's Forshaw.
Boy, it's tough out there. Harvey Howard putting his body on the line. They've had to. Further in assistance.
Deacon to stab it through. There's a mistake.
Oh, dearie me.
And it's a drop out from underneath the posts.
Golden opportunity.
Vicona was hunting this.
Costin had the opportunity, went for the man. And you can see there now, Costin, if you'd have just left it and waited behind in the hope that Dallas would have come up with a mistake, he missed it to the winger.
What a last line of defence this fellow is. Chris Radlinski. And it's now Brian Noble's turn just to reflect on what might have been. What a start, Steve-O. What an absolutely breathtaking start to the year this has been.
Oh, tremendous. But it was to be expected. Replay of the grand final. I mean, we said it would be tough, and it has been that. This is not for the faint-hearted, and it's not a place where you can start throwing fancy football. It's power, power, power.
A lot of the old-timers don't like that, but boy, is it compelling. Lowe's, that's a good ball to Withers. Withers standing in the tackle and dumping the ball back. Here comes Peacock. And Peacock steps through the challenges still. And he gets it away, but Wigan have it back. A knock-on, I think, from Withers. It'll be play on anyway, because Wigan have got the ball here with Dallas.
All action here. Really not the best opportunity there for Peacock to offload.
Might have been a little knock on there from Andy Farrell, by the way.
Well, he certainly appeared to get the fingertips to it, but Brian Noble, the Bulls coach, won't be too happy with the way that Peacock surrendered possession. Far too much traffic around him.
Big high kick down the middle was from Lamb. There's a chase on here with us. Well, he does well in the end, and he gets the ball away. And it's Vinacolo, and Cassidy cuts him down. Cassidy's having a big game.
Copybook tackle, but how cool is this fullback, Mick Withers? Two of the best fullbacks going around in the world of rugby league, in Withers and Radlinski.
Gilmore did well then. Got it away to Vicona. Vicona makes the break. And Vicona with Carney on his back, and in the end, Radlinski comes in to cut him down.
Full credit to Carney. Stuck to him like a limp in mine.
There's been the usual change by Brian Noble. 20 minutes gone. Off go McDermott, Banganar, on Fielden and Anderson.
Now then, will they go for the 2 points? It looks that way.
Offside against Wigan, this. I think he pointed at Jamie Ainscough there.
Well, as the message come out, yeah.
Come on, Mick, please.
For one moment there, I thought Robbie Paul was going to do a quick one, get on with the game, but Brian Noble obviously got the message through. You could see Robbie Paul turn to the sideline, and the message was 2 points will be vital in this close encounter. Ferner receiving treatment, and you'll see plenty of that, because now there's about 5 or 6 that he could pick from, and that's good refereeing from Stuart Cummins, because he wanted to see if the Bulls had the advantage.
And when no advantage was forthcoming, the whistle went to the lips, and Bradford get the penalty now. It's in a very similar position and angle to the Andy Farrell penalty earlier in this match, which he missed. So this is a real test here for Paul Deacon, the young man who hails from the Wigan area, of course. 17 points in the World Club Championship, a record in that game's history. And what would he give to pop this over? Wigan supporters behind the post doing their best to put him off. He's got the 2. Paul Deacon takes the 2 points. Bradford have the first of the evening, and they're the first points in Super League 7. And it's taken about 23 minutes to come. 2-0 Bradford. Another instruction from Brian Noble, another note in the book for the half-time tour.
Sweet as a nut, wasn't it? Connected well, the youngster Paul Deacon, who must be looking forward to this season. He was brought off the bench so many times last year. Of course, with the departure of Henry Paul, he must realise now that if his form keeps up, he will have a regular spot starting in all the games. I'm sure that Deacon and Robbie Paul throughout this year will make a wonderful combination.
Fielden, Cassidy's all over him. They got him over on his back, so it just delayed the play the ball a little. O'Neill was downstairs, O'Connor upstairs on Daniel Gartner. Here is Deacon, now it's Robbie Paul. Looked a little bit forward that from Robbie Paul to Costin, a great screen from the touchline. Banganar and McDermott taking a well-earned breather on the bench. Vicona taking the tackle from Brett Dallas.
Well, to be fair, Brendan Costin is overrunning the ball. That's on the second occasion. He got caught for the forward pass before, but he seems to be running a little bit, and that came off a Wigan player.
Yeah, no, it was the ball that played the man, not vice versa. This is Vinacolo. Dabbed the ball forward, but Connolly was there. He just lost his head a moment. I think Vanicola, there's a great opportunity this.
Well, David Beckham's nothing to fear. Not the best, was it?
Two.
The opportunity that came his way. Execution was poor. But again, you've got to credit this Wigan defence. They're getting back in numbers. Half breaks from the Bulls, but no try as yet.
24 minutes on the watch, and it's 2-0 to the Bradford Bulls. Wigan in possession, but that's the last tackle. What a great set of 6 this has been in defence for Bradford. Penning Wigan into their own half. Lamb with the dab over the top. Referee calls for a possible 40-20. No chance of that. It bounces a little wickedly into the arms of Vainicolo. He gets it away to Gilmore. Gilmore's faced by Carney and O'Neill. It's still Gilmore. He turns it inside then to Deacon. And Deacon gets to within 10 of the halfway line. Here's Withers. And Withers has straightened him up. He's got Robbie Paul outside him. He's taken him on himself. He dumps it over the top. And this is going to be a try. No. Forward pass. Daniel Gardner thinks he scored, but the referee says forward. And Brian Noble can't believe it. The touch judge's call on the far side. We have had the first controversy of 2002.
Well, it looked as though Withers perhaps had taken the wrong option. He had men out on his right-hand side. Gardner thinks he's in for the first try. Cassidy tried the Cumberland throw, not the best effort. See how he turns Bradlinski inside out. You really can't bring the momentum rule in there, because watch how Withers is stopped. And therefore, when Gardner just lunged forward, it was enough to convince that merry flag waver to indicate to Stuart Cummings, the official. And Brian Noble will be pretty upset with that, as you can see. But after the replay, the officials have got it spot on. It would have been confusing if the fullback Michael Withers could have still been running.
Well, Michael Withers has left the field now, as you see. He's in the blood bin.
Right,
needs,
okay, fellas.
Some treatment, so
Nathan
Nathan McAvoy comes on. But I just wonder, Steve-O, Robbie Paul was skirting down the right-hand side.
That's right, he had the option.
If he'd have flicked it to him there, it would have been curtains for Wigan. That's play on. It was off the shoulder. But don't like that, Bradford.
But did the player play the ball, or was it the other way around? I get the impression there that the ball always lost that. That's a knock-on, and Farrell will be absolutely disgusted with himself. It's the pressure, isn't it? You can see there. All right, there was a lazy hand. And that just says it all, doesn't it?
Here we go.
We spoke of the pressure and the build-up. Interesting to note that both camps were quite happy to let it be known in the media that they were going to put on a display of open rugby league football. They certainly didn't kid me. So much tension out there.
Yes, the first match of a long, hard season. Brian Noble was only telling me yesterday, he said, well, it won't be the end of the world if we don't win. We're going there to win, but it won't be the end of the world. There's still 27 more weekly rounds to go, and then the playoffs. But boy, it would put a marker down, wouldn't it?
Well, what a psychological lift it would be. A lot of people have got Wigan favourites for this competition.
A lot of them have got Bradford too, by the way. Well, the only team that's not being mentioned at the moment are the Saints, as we mentioned before, to Paul Sculthorpe.
Well, they'll enjoy that, especially Ian Millwood. Imagine saying Ian Millwood's team, underdogs. Oh, that's a bad opportunity there, just dropped.
Not McAvoy, beg your pardon, Gilmore it was, I think. Whoa, what a hit!
How's that for finishing him off? Whoa.
Gilmore with the mistake. Well, talking of St Helens, we'll see how they are going to go early this year, perhaps. It's Widnes who come back from the wilderness into the Super League promised land. Saturday, 6 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. You can watch it with us. We'll be at the Halton Stadium for Widnes's first match in the Super League. And boy, have they waited years for the opportunity. And they're talking about a full house down there, which would be terrific to see. They've made it all ticket because of the demand. And what a fillip it would be for them if they could get over the top of Saints. That's a lovely chip. Oh, and Radlinski nearly got it, but they have the penalty anyway, Wigan.
Well, obviously interference there. The man that hasn't got the football, and you can see it. Radlinski did well to get round the man who deliberately went across. I think it might have been Daniel Gardner.
I think it was Stuart Fielder.
Was it?
I'm not sure. Other people agree with you. I thought I heard the referee said Stuart. I'm not sure.
He's probably just saying his name over and over again, Stuart Cummins. I suppose a lot of people would say that on many occasions these many whistleblowers don't know who they are, never mind.
Well, Farrell dumps the ball into touch, not tempted to have a second shot at goal. It's tight as a drum, this, isn't it? 28.5 minutes, 2-0 Bradford. Wigan with a couple of opportunities to get over the line. Cassidy plays the ball to Newton. And this is Connolly. Gilmore did a good job on him. Carney waits. And here goes Carney, attacking the line. Anderson's there, though. Oh, he gets the ball away brilliantly. And that's gone to ground. And the referee wants a word with somebody.
I think something may have been said.
Okay, you've got in the tackle here, you've got your hands underneath, alright? There's no act to drive, but you've lifted it, okay? It's under there.
Well, it's deemed that James Lowes has dragged the ball. He didn't, he missed.
I think he's given the penalty for Anderson with hands between the legs and the earlier tackle. This is Ainscough.
Wonderful work from Vicona. Ball and all tackle, try save.
Dallas. Great defence from Bradford. Leading the way, Robbie Paul. Ainscough's the dummy half there. Looping pass to Lamb. Then it goes wide to Julian O'Neill. Back on the inside to Gary Connolly. And Gardner felt that. He's injured, he's down out of the defensive line. Newton attacking them. Ball round the corner.
What a wonderful effort.
And Radlinski keeps the movement going to Farrell. Here is Cassidy.
Was that a knock on?
Oh, the referee says play on.
Oh, the Wigan fans won't like that. And they dare not ask the players. That looked to me like a knock on by Brendan Costin. Stuart Raper thought so too.
Hold.
Well, it was definitely a knock on. And it's Bradford's turn to breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, I think Bradford must have picked up a rabbit's foot coming over the Pennines. Lady Luck has certainly been on their side.
Here's Fielden. Gets away from O'Connor.
Leave it in!
Oh, it's livening up even more. Who would have thought that the tempo could get any higher than what we saw in the opening 10 minutes, but it has.
Beautiful dummy from Lowes. Out there goes Gardner. Wide it goes then to the volcano. He's through one. He's through two. Beautiful ball. Gilmore. What a try, Bradford. What a fantastic try. Gilmore scored it, but it was laid on a plate by Leslie Vinacolo, whose powerhouse run down the left-hand side had the Wigan defence in tatters. Vinacolo created it, Gilmore scored it. Opening try of Super League 7 to the champions and to Lee Gilmore.
Shows you how defence, you can turn it into attack. It was a wonderful tackle there by Vicona. This is the ball just floating around. They had the opportunity. He was most upset, Stuart Raper. He'll be even more worried now. Beautiful break from Lowes, through the dummy. They did it right. Well, this kid is raw, but he showed absolute world class in that pass on the inside. Gilmore's positioning was superb. They don't come much better than that. How many years has Jimmy Lowes been doing that? Throwing the dummy. He threw 1-2. Bang! Commits himself, twisting the tackle. What a try!
Well, Gilmore, the try scorer against his former club, but worryingly for Bradford, just behind Paul Deacon, who is lining up for this kick, is the sight, I think, of Leslie Vinacolo. He has twisted a knee or an ankle or something as he released that ball, and the signal has come out that he has to leave the field. And the stretcher is on its way. Well, a piece of sheer brilliance from Vinacolo. But off he goes injured, and with the stretcher on its way, I just wonder whether Vainikolo has done some serious damage. Well, Deacon lining up the conversion attempt. This for an 8-0 lead. He's missed it. So it stays at just the 6. But importantly, it's Bradford who lead. The champions are ahead.
Well, Deacon just couldn't put the icing on the cake, and what a cake it was. Picked up the injury there, he was going through. The adrenaline would have taken him through. There was no anguish on his face as the ball was passed. But it's the seconds afterwards. It was an awkward twist of his body. And you can see there, it was a pretty hard fall. Gilmore celebrating, and a few seconds after he passed the ball, the pain, the barrier would have been pretty severe.
What a brilliant pass from Vainikolo. They're working on him over on the far side, and they will hope Bradford that he can come back. But he's obviously got a problem, and I tell you what, there's going to be 4, 5, 6 people to try and pick him up on that stretcher, and they've got a long, long way to walk around the pitch. He's a big lump of a lad, is Vainikolo.
Oh, he's got a knock on. Well, it's no good coming over and talking to the referee.
Here we go.
He lost the football, okay. There may have been interference, but Fielding has paid the price.
Probably right.
He was definitely pushed away there by the youngster Stephen Weil.
Head in.
I think even Weil was a little bit shocked that he wasn't penalised. But this is a sad sight.
Right, tackle one.
The big
Clear.
fella.
Hands out, hands out.
Vainikolo being carted from the field of play. It's important now that the Bulls just consolidate and try to get into half-time, still maintaining this 6-point lead.
This is dangerous territory for Wigan's opponents. Traditionally, the minutes up to half-time are when Wigan snap through and score, and Farrell trying to do exactly that. Terry Newton is the dummy half, and here they come left with Lamb. Peacock and James Lowes with the tackle. Terry Newton. Farrell stabs the kick through. It's gobbled up by Withers back out of the blood bin.
I'm always amazed by the ability of both Withers and Chris Radlinski, how they read the game so well. Not the best kick though from Andy Farrell. He'll be the first to admit that. Oh, that was pretty high there by O'Connor.
Yes, Gartner would have felt that. Here is Paul Anderson.
Oh, come to daddy, says Bybee.
Well, he's only 19, Ricky Bybee, but reputations count for nothing. Here's Forshaw.
Well, that was like the perfect match, wasn't it? Didn't they go into each other?
The kicker is Deacon. He's gone for the 40-20. Carney has dropped back, and Carney will launch this Wigan attack. Wall of defenders ahead of him. Robbie Paul doing well. Vainikolo still being taken round this ground, and he will soon be in the dressing room and will receive treatment. Ainscough, meanwhile, for Wigan, grounded by Jamie Peacock. 10 inside his own half. Dallas, great chase again from Peacock. Lamb, Bybee, gets the ball away dangerously, and Gartner gobbles it up gratefully for Bradford. Here comes Fielding.
Golden opportunity here, the youngster trying to offload, not the best there, Newton couldn't get to it.
Penalty, offside Wigan.
They'll take the 2 points and offer here. Just on the rack at the moment. Full credit to both sides have absorbed a lot of pressure. And as soon as he gets involved, he made no attempt to come back the 10 metres. You could see him as lost.
Back 10. Back 10.
Farrell being caught by the official Stuart Cummins. But what a tough encounter this is. See, Farrell is should have just kept out of it. As soon as he touches Lowes, he's got to be offside. Only the first and second markers can do that.
Well, he wasn't standing square, was he?
No, he was miles offside. But that gives you some indication, and I'm sure that Brian Noble would have seen that. is the fact that some of these Wigan players are very slow to get back and get into that position. Bit of fatigue, maybe.
Golden opportunities for Deacon to make it 8-0. And the opportunity is not spurned by the young man. Great Britain international, England international, Paul Deacon and Stuart Raper. He knows his men have been close twice, denied once by the video referee. But importantly, it's Bradford who have taken their opportunity, have kicked their goals and have scored a fine try. Well, we saw Leslie Vainicolo being taken off. Bill Arthur has the news of him.
Leslie Vainicolo is now in that Bradford Bulls dressing room, and the early diagnosis seems to be a hamstring tear. It looks like the right hamstring that has gone, and I just wonder about this. Last season we saw Mitch Healy, newly arrived at the Castleford Tigers. This time of the season it's cold, players not used to these conditions. He sustained an injury just like that, and Vainicolo looks as though he's come up with the same sort of hamstring tear. Wigan, David Furner has had to go off. He's got slight concussion, double vision.
What a break here! Lowe's!
He's cutting them to ribbons. Wonderful effort from the hooker.
Deacon dummy half, Forshaw, Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul gets away from one, bounces off the second, but Farrell and Cassidy in the end come in and pull him down. This is the last tackle. Withers, back it goes to Deacon, and Deacon, he went for the drop goal, didn't quite get the length, so Lamb will run it back, gives it to Radlinski, great tackle by Gilmore. Carney, the dummy half, will go down the shallow side.
Pretty tough to find gaps out there.
Penalty. Bradford offside. We're going to take this quick with Connolly. Here now is Farrell. It's with Cassidy. Good tackle by Brandon Costin. Here we go.
Should have been penalised though, Costin. In the second swing of it, they realise there's only seconds remaining.
Yes, we're in the last minute of the first half. Bradford are ahead by 8 points to 6. 8 points to 0, I can't read. And they put the ball down.
They play on. Stuart Cummings has had a fine first half. Control things out there. Oh, look at the gaps appearing now. I mentioned the fact that when Farrell got caught very slow, I think Wigan are struggling to make it. There's not even having two markers. There's only one marker at nearly every play the ball.
And Lowe's is having a field day. Gets the ball away. Paul skims out of one, skims away from two, and it's all hands to the punch now. Well, it's Bradford finishing on a high note in this first half. Deacon.
Good work from the prop forward, Terry O'Connor.
Maybe try time just for one more play the ball. Forshaw gets it away, and they haul him down. Well, they might get another play the ball here if he gets to his feet quickly. And he will, Gardner. Forshaw, back it goes to Deacon. Inside it goes to Withers. Withers dumps it over the top. Oh, Dallas went for the interception.
Well, that'll take us to the break.
Well, so Tetley's Bidder Super League is 40 minutes old, and Bradford Bulls are ahead by 8 points to 0. They've got to face Wigan twice more this year, by the way, but maybe significantly, those two will be at Ballyparade. Here we are at the JJB Stadium, and Bradford are ahead and in possession from the kick-off, obviously, with Stuart Fielder.
Well, Brian Noble, the Bulls coach, will be happy with the scoreline, and more so with the fact that 10 breaks to 3, their advantage, and it just indicates that this Wigan defence a little bit slow to pull through. But I was most disappointed with the Wigan effort from the two half-backs, Julian O'Neill and Adrian Lamb. They were ineffective in that first half, and I'm sure that Stuart Raper, Wigan coach, will have had something to say about that. More effort, please.
I'm sure you mentioned, Steve-O, in the build-up to this game and also during the first half, the power that Bradford have got up front. There is Stuart Fielder, although he's lost the ball there, but it was stolen. It was stolen from him, so Bradford get the penalty. The power of this Bradford pack. There's Poro Vainicolo with the injured hamstring. He's coming out to watch the second half. the power of this Bradford pack is laying the platform for Deacon and Robbie Paul. Wigan, they're not laying the platform at all for O'Neill and Lamb.
Not whatsoever. It was a pretty rugged encounter to start with. The first 10 minutes we saw that Brian McDermott, well, as I mentioned, he was like a yo-yo, sometimes going low, but majority of the time going high, legally, apart from one, and it really knocked the stuffing out of it. And when you bring someone like this off the bench, it just indicates how strong this Bradford side are.
Yes, ever present last year, big Paul Anderson, 32 out of his 35 appearances, though, off the bench. Same can be said for this fellow, Stuart Fielding. Two members of the awesome foursome. The other two, McDermott and Bangman, are waiting to come on with about 20 minutes left. Withers standing.
Oh, should have been support there.
Harry, don't push him after he's down.
Robbie Paul goes down the short side. And that's Jamie Peacock. And Peacock tried to run all over the top of his captain, as well as the Wigan defence. Lowe's, Deacon just paused for a moment, then got the ball away to Gartner, and Gartner flicks it back. And here is Fielden. And they are inching closer and closer, but this is the last tackle. Gilmore comes down the short side, ball bounces, Gilmore's got it back. Was
Good
that
work
6
from
to go?
Carney.
No, it was Carney's.
It would have been a turnover. And again, they put this Wigan defence on the rack. That was wonderful work. Bradford utilising the likes of Peacock and Fielden, running out wide, outside of the centres. And look at that defence.
Fantastic stuff from Robbie Paul. Let's get the news of what was said in those dressing rooms half-time. Bill Arthur.
The Wigan Warriors coach Stuart Raper looked pretty grim-faced when he came out of the Warriors dressing room, but he'll have been a bit happier with the first set of 6 in defence from his side. They managed to keep the Bulls at bay, and that has been the message really from Stuart Raper to his side. They really have got to tighten up on their defence, especially around the ruck. But look at this defence from the Bradford Bulls. Brian Noble, the Bulls coach, delighted with the defensive effort from his side in the first half. It looks as though they're setting their stall out for a effort in this, and he wants them to be patient as well. The chances will come their way. They don't have to force it. But the bad news for the Bradford Bulls is that Leslie Vinacolo has got a hamstring tear, and it sounds as though it's a bad one. Even worse news for the Bulls, both their mascots have been sent off by the stadium management.
Well, here are Bradford in possession, midfield with Deacon. Oh, and Fielden went without it. So Wigan have got it back in the shape of Connolly.
Okay, 0 tackle, hands out!
Brian Noble won't be happy with that.
Well, a little bit too elaborate, especially when you've got a lead of 8 points to nil. You really should have been just taking it steady, playing the numbers game, and then putting the kick into the in-goal area. And that's a major reason why Brian Noble won't be too happy about it.
Oh, that ball.
It's got to be a penalty.
No, it was dropped by O'Connor. He's furious. But this is Gartner for Bradford.
Well, I thought someone was hanging on to the leg there, but if it's one-on-one, it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you could see that, I think it was Deacon that just peeled off at the very last moment. Good refereeing again by Stuart Cummings. He's having a fine match.
3!
This is Lowe's, 20 metres away from the Wigan line. Big opportunity here for Bradford. Robbie Paul gets the pass out wide, and Withers is a danger. Ainscough knows that, but that was a little bit high.
A little bit, it was a lot.
Quick hands.
Again, they've missed the golden opportunity. I was just about to say that surely Brian Noble would have got the message out, go right towards the sticks, let's pick up another 1 point. A little bit too fancy on 2 occasions in the opening minutes, when they really don't need to force the pass. Just peg away. They've got a good kicking game in Paul Deacon and Robbie Paul. I would have been going and hunting for that 1 point.
Peter Vicona couldn't get on the end of that pass. He made his 100th appearance in the grand final, and his next try will be number 60 for the Bradford Bulls.
A little bit more urgency needed in this Wigan play the ball. They've got to try to get through this solid defence.
Big test for this Ricky Bybee and Stephen Wild in this second half, as Phil Clark said during half-time. Here's Julian O'Neill now. He's been quiet so far.
Not effective there, running across. Run like a crab, you'll get caught. Not quick at all.
Connolly. Last tackle, Wigan having trouble getting out of their own half. Newton goes to Farrell. Farrell with the kick over the top into open space. Newton is after this. Newton is after this. Newton's got it. Newton hacks forward and he slides over the line.
Oh, he's lost it. Not again.
Knock on.
It's going to be a nightmare for the hooker, Terry Newton.
Well, he didn't even go to the video referee then, Stuart Cummings. Felt there was no need.
That's wrong. Oh, what on earth was Tavita by Kona doing?
Don't need to, you see it.
It was a good effort from McAvoy. Was that a knocker? Was that knocked back from McAvoy? Oh, this is going to be very interesting.
Well, it was 1-on-1.
It was 1-on-1. Did he knock it back?
No, stop. Come on.
That's a big question. And Newton then attempted to score just after it.
It's interesting for debate, nothing else, because the scrum was put down for the knock-on, and Stuart Cummings was absolutely convinced in his own judgment.
Stand down. Oh.
So again, Wigan denied, and here comes Gartner for the Bulls.
Is that a top game as the second row, Daniel Gartner?
Michael Withers, by the way, is down. He's interfering now with the Wigan defensive line, so the referee stops the clock. And this looks like more problems for the Bradford Bulls. Well, we made the point, Steve, on Wednesday night to Brian Noble. Last year they were injury-free.
That last one.
Now, I think this is a knock-on because it goes backwards off McAvoy. He loses it here, and then does McAvoy touch it? No. It's an amazing thing, isn't it, the slow-motion replay. And he's absolutely gutted, is Michael Withers.
Well,
and Brian Noble won't be too chuffed about it either.
He won't. If they win this match, boy, it will be at some cost if that is as serious as it looks. Lycona with a hamstring tear and Vinocola with a hamstring tear and a bad one. And now Withers, who was in the blood bin earlier, leaves the field, and he has a major problem. As I say, we mentioned to Brian Noble on Wednesday, they were virtually injury-free for much of the back end of last season anyway. How things are cyclical, how things come round.
Well, if my memory serves me correct, I think it was only McAvoy and Stuart Spruce that was a bad injury. And they picked up 2 in the opening game. Funny old world, isn't it?
It is a funny old world, and they had knocks and bumps and bruises like the rest. But I remember every time we spoke to Brian Noble for his team last year, he was virtually saying same again.
Well, a golden opportunity for Wigan now. There'll be a little bit of 6s and 7s, Bradford, losing 2 key players. And this is where this fella has to stand up and be counted. They've been using him out wide, and really, I think it's time for Andy Farrell to come in and start taking first man, because Adrian Lamb has become a little bit ineffective. They've got to change their patterns. Farrell has to start taking control.
Wild to his feet, Newton the dummy half, Lamb stabs it, it bounces off the feet of Lowe's. This will be play on, and Lowe's is on his way, Newton's after it. Lowe's just waits and stops and pauses, and the ball was stripped by Newton. That was good play, and here is Brian Carney, and Wigan now looking to turn the screw if they can, although there's someone coming off for Wigan now. It's Brett Dallas, and they have the penalty. Wigan have the penalty.
Well, they're going down like flies. 2 wingers off now.
Robbie Paul, by the way, operating full-back for Bradford, with Withers being off, so there's another attacking option lost really for Bradford whenever Wigan are in possession.
What a great tackle there from Paul Deakin. Copybook stuff right on round the legs of the big front forward O'Connor.
This is Bidey, and he gets Wigan to within 10. Terry Newton, the dummy half. He'll attack the line. Gets it away to Adrian Lamb, nearly jinking his way under the post. Let's play the ball, Newton! And Newton is surrounded by 4. And it's on the 4th tackle as well. On the charge, lost. Farrell was looking for the try and dropped it.
That'll be the knock-on. It won't be tackled in goal. And Stuart Raper realises that yet again a golden opportunity has gone missing. But full credit to this solid defence. Look at that, Robbie Paul. Who would have thought it, Robbie Paul against this guy? But he had enough upper body strength to prevent Wigan scoring the try. So many opportunities. 2 occasions, Newton.
Right, let's get the news of the injured players from Bill.
Well, if Bradford do pull off this victory at Wigan, their first ever at this stadium, then at what cost? Because Leslie Vainicolo has been joined on the injury list by Michael Withers, who's picked up a groin strain. News from the Bulls, the busy Bulls medical camp. As for Wigan, well, Brett Dallas has come off looking very groggy indeed. A blood bin, he's got a bang on the nose, but I think that's the least of his worries because he looks really spaced out.
13 missed tackles by Wigan.
That's far too many for Stuart Raper, their coach. The one thing that would have worried him was in that last 10 minutes of the first half, Wigan looked very, very sluggish.
Here, wait for his spot.
Gilmore proving a bit of a handful on his return to Wigan. Here's Fielden. Connolly's all over him.
Play!
Penalty. He didn't hear the call.
He rolled out the tackle.
It said, did the ball carrying arm hit the deck? Yes, it did. And again, the eagle eye of Stuart Cummings, the official. Watch the ball carrying arm. As soon as it does that, and he's still got a hand on him as Connolly. So,
well, he screamed.
Got it right.
He screamed at Stuart Fielden to play.
Well, it's hard to even think with this crowd.
I wouldn't have heard him. He's fouled.
Tackle one.
A little bit of a high shot from Brendan Costin.
Cassidy. Here is Bybee. Bradford's got to him. They're 10 metres away, Wigan. You feel they have to score here. Lamb.
And again, they're finding it difficult to get through the defensive line.
That was Stephen Wild.
The little kick will be the one, surely.
Adrian Lamb just dropped the shoulder, but they wouldn't be fooled there. Gartner and Radford. Newton. Farrell. Wide it goes. Further wide.
Knock on.
This time it's Ainscough.
It's a nightmare for Stuart Raper. Opportunities going their way. To be fair, it wasn't the best pass to Ainscough. Julian O'Neill slightly forward too, but it was dipping all the time and it was difficult for that guy.
Well, 5 of Wigan's grand final lineup no longer figure here. Renoff, Cowie, Dennis Betts, who sent his farewells to the crowd at half-time, Chris Chetfield and Hull, and perhaps most significantly Matthew Johns, who's over in Australia with Cronulla. The Bulls lost here twice last year. They also lost at St Helens, Wakefield and Warrington.
And again,
well, you make the point, Eddie, regarding the fact that Adrian Lamb and Johns, it took them a long, long time, in fact, well past the halfway line. Great break!
Deacon's away! And another big collision, he's not tackled, now he is. Deacon's having a wow, so is the fella at dummy half, Lowe's. And Robbie Paul now chimes into the line. Gets it to Costin to Forshaw, good hands. Paul again, last tackle. Wigan desperate in defence, funneling back still. Those will attack them, stabs the ball through. Carney picks it up and has the speed to get out of trouble. Great run from Carney.
Good attack, great defensive qualities there from the winger, and rightly so. The point I was trying to make, Eddie, is the fact that Adrian Lamb sort of took it all on his shoulders because of the fact that Johns took a long time to settle in. And yet again, we've seen very little of the skills of Julian O'Neill. Well, all right, they've been behind a beaten pack at the moment, but they need to lift their game a bit more if they can get back into it.
They're not exactly complete strangers either, by the way. Julian O'Neill and Adrian Lamb have both turned out in the maroon for Queensland in the past.
A bit warmer climate than here, Eddie.
Well, maybe so, but...
Pull the 10, Gary!
This is McAvoy. It's getting to a crucial stage of the match. I wonder what Phil Clark's making of it all downstairs. Phil, how are you seeing this?
Oh, it's a cracker, isn't it? And Wigan have certainly upped the pace since halfway line, but hang on a minute, here's Gilmore. Do you know what? I just get the feeling that Wigan have thrown everything at Bradford for the last 10 minutes, but they've been unable to score and penetrate that Bradford line. It's been excellent defence, and very often we see in sport the other side then come back and hurt you instantly, and it's looking that way right now.
Yes, Wigan have really taken the game to them in the opening quarter of an hour of this second half. Here's Robbie Paul, and he goes wide and finds Forshaw. Forshaw taking on Ainscough, flicks the ball back. Paul to Vicona. Infield it goes then to Costin, and Cassidy is waiting for him.
Superb offloading yet again.
Here's Vicona. Vicona is hauled down by Terry Newton on the last tackle. Lowe's rolls them forward. Brilliant kick, angled, but well watched in defence by Ricky Bybee, but right on his own try line. Wigan are pending.
Beautiful little chip back on the inside. Good work though from the youngster, Ricky Bybee. He had to be as well. Oh, that is wonderful defence. This is what I love about this game. You don't have to be going over the top and fouling the opposition. You can hurt them both physically and mentally with big hits like that. Look at all that space there for Lowe's. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Good job that Bybee was alert. He's had a wow of a game as Jimmy Lowe's tonight.
Great tackle by Costin on Farrell. And what defence from Bradford. Wigan kicking from inside their own 20-metre line. And on the bounce it goes into the arms of Robbie Paul, operating now at fullback, and he can hurt them when he chimes in from fullback.
That's been a problem for Wigan all night as well, is the fact that because of this solid defence and so eager at Bradford, that when it comes to the last kick, the last tackle, should I say, when they put the kick away, they are so deep down that Bradford are getting over the halfway line so easy.
Connolly appealing then that Deacon had lost the ball in that tackle, but the referee and touch judge didn't see it if there was any fumble. Lowe's is at dummy half. Anderson's on his inside. Anderson charges through Newton. Good job that Stephen Wilde was there, and Chris Radlinski. Jimmy Lowe's. Danny Gartner. Last tackle.
Good defence though from Julian O'Neill. He's working overtime in that department.
Costin hoisted out wide. Well played by Brett Dallas. Dallas with the speed to turn defence into attack. Deacon got a bang on the head, but managed to hang on and stop Wigan's momentum.
To be fair,
O'Connor.
Deacon really should have been penalised there. He was holding the man down.
Fantastic tackling from Bradford. Fantastic effort. Here's Farrell.
They've kept him quiet, haven't they? Good offload though.
Brilliant offload. Here. And Adrian Lamb could only get them to the halfway line. Here's Bybee. Do it. Flicks it away to Farrell again, who's getting more and more involved, but Bradford have done their homework.
Here we go. No stop.
58 minutes gone. We're on the last tackle here. This set of 6 for Wigan, and O'Neill will dab the ball over the top. It's an invitation for Carney, but really O'Neill was looking for the sideline then, and he found it.
Well, a bit of a wasted kick there, really. No pressure applied to this Bradford outfit. They will be quite happy to take that all night. Just take their time, put the scrum down. He was missing for long periods in that first half, but to be fair to Julian O'Neill, he's had to do a lot of tackling.
Let's go, fellas.
And he's a bit of a points machine.
All heads in, please.
From his career in Australia. 10 years down under, over 1,100 points. And he spent 1993 with Widnes. In 1995 with the London Broncos. He's made 13 tackles so far tonight.
And that really is far too many for a standoff. They've got to be looking at constructive play, attacking play. But this Bradford forward pack have just completely obliterated their opposite six.
Here we go.
It's been a great effort from the forwards.
Well, Stuart Raper is mixing and matching it, trying to find the key. At the moment it's well and truly on the hook somewhere. Look at this, 16 breaks and 17 offloads by Bradford, and only 3 and 5 by Wigan. That says it all, really. Carney collects, but look at the chase.
And that's the difference. That was a constructive kick. Make sure that the ball stayed in the field of play and just apply that pressure that they've done throughout this evening.
Times of possession, 27 Wigan, 18 completions.
That was a big knock.
31 times by Bradford, 21 completed sets. Stuart Fielden chipping away at the referee in his march 10 metres.
Well, he thought that Horton, and he did go with the elbow.
On Mike Mike Forshaw.
He certainly did, and then Fielding didn't take to it. I mean, well, they've got to be penalised for that. How on earth Forshaw got up after that without a broken jaw is anybody's guess.
On halfway, Wigan with Cassidy.
2. And again.
We've got 20 minutes of the match remaining. Wigan with the better of the penalty count.
3. Clear.
O'Neill looking to pierce the defence then, but couldn't. Lamb to Farrell. Inside it goes to Cassidy. Cassidy is through and he's got support.
Forward.
Offload, it went back to Newton, and again another offload.
Was he? Well, the ball's in play. He can't be classified as offside.
But it came back off the Wigan man anyway.
Yeah. Oh, when is it going to go right for this fella, Terry Newton? He has worked overtime, had 2 wonderful opportunities. Oh, McAvoy through.
McAvoy's away, and he's cut inside Radlinski. This is a great run from McAvoy, but a wonderful recovering tackle from Chris Radlinski. Loads over the top of Robbie Paul to Mike Forshaw, and Forshaw is grounded by Jamie Ainscough.
Good work there. McAvoy held on to the possession, realising that they're in control of this game. No panic, no silly passes. That's what Brian Noel will be getting the message at.
Well, Nathan McAvoy hasn't played since last August. That was a great run from him. This is costed. Goes back to Peacock. Oh, forward pass. Forward pass to Robbie Paul. Bradford fans are on their feet, but the referee's whistle will make them all sit down again.
Little doubt about it. You can see there from the side angle, good camera work as well, that Robbie Paul just in front.
Let's go, fellas, let's go, come on!
It's all action, isn't it? And you can see there Newton trying in desperation to keep it away. Look at the anguish on the face of the hooker. It means so much to the players out there.
Right, noble, calm, cool and collected on the side, but Terry Newton has done...
a penalty.
It is. I'll get this out in a minute. Terry Newton has done as much as anybody for the Wigan cause tonight.
He shouldn't be on the losing side, but it looks as though he probably will be. They need something magical, no doubt about it. You have to move away. Radford failed to do that.
So Wigan will come again on halfway. What a finish we will have to this match if Wigan can score a try.
Well, Wigan have to come up with something a little bit different. Maybe the chip over the top, even a simple run around.
This is O'Neill.
Great defence.
They got totally in each other's way then. Lowe's has dropped it now, but that went backwards.
Oh, great effort.
Gartner did well.
He's had an outstanding game as a second rower, Gartner too. Both in an attack and defence. But you saw the difference there between the two sides. The ball was bobbing around. Lowe's really shouldn't have offloaded. But there was 3 Wigan players there, and they didn't drop on the football.
Vangenaar does brilliantly to get it away, and here comes Lowe's again.
Hands out!
He's loving this, isn't he, Jimmy?
He is. Connolly is getting back into the defensive line.
Try
here is Deacon, wide it goes, and Forshaw, Mike Forshaw, maybe wraps this match up for the champions. Well, Gilmore's punished his former club in the first half, and Forshaw has punished his former club in the second. Bradford with 12 points on the board now, and Mike Forshaw and Lee Gilmore have come back to haunt Stuart Raper and the Wigan Warriors.
Tremendous effort. It had to come. This Wigan outfit, they are so tired. They've had a lot of defensive work to do. Beautiful offload from the prop. See how the little halfback Deacon went through. Oh, that was absolutely superb. Quick play of the ball, which has been a highlight. It was a wonderful offload from Vangenaar. And one of the oldest players out there on the pitch, Forshaw. He's back again. 18 months ago, everyone was pointing the finger and saying maybe he was finished. No way.
Yes, he began here over a decade ago, and he even acted as the emergency hooker for Great Britain in the Ashes series after the World Cup, announcing his international retirement. Mike Forshaw. So Deacon with the opportunity to push Bradford even further ahead, and if he kicks this, Wigan must score 3 times. He's missed it. It's 2 converted tries, but it could be a mile as far as Wigan are concerned. Bradford are ahead 12-0.
This is a sign of a very tired defence. Watch how he sucks the man in. Beautiful offload. Great teamwork. It has been a pleasure to witness some of the football on show.
Right, no penalties.
So here comes Van Ganaar from the Wigan kick-off.
Tackle 1, clear, clear.
Well, surely that should have been a penalty. Horton was all over him. The referee had already called held.
Well, Wigan have got just 13 minutes to rescue it. There's a knock-on from Lowe's.
Well, they're complaining, and I think every right to. I mean, once the tackle is being made, look at this, they're all over the place. That's got to be interference, not even standing squared at the marker.
Here you go. Stay on the mark, there wouldn't have been a problem.
Jimmy, no doubt, had a few wise words to say to Mr. Cummings.
Oh, did Wigan have anything left?
Right, tackle 1, clear.
Here's Harvey Howard.
2. Jamie, you're
Now
out.
it's with Mick Cassidy. And now O'Neill. This is Johnson.
3.
O'Neill again. To Adrian Lamb. Here's Farrell. And Farrell taking them on his own. And Peacock hauls him down. They're 10 metres away. Just delayed the pass again, did O'Neill. O'Neill. Back this way. Newton again. He scored this time.
Surely they'll give him this one.
They will.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Terry Newton gets the reward at last. And Wigan are back in it.
And for the first time, they caught this Bradford outfit very slow in the position of the marker. First and second. The claret is flowing freely from the nose.
Yes, he took a real bang, didn't he, on the pecker for this.
You can see the good switch of play. Oh, what a great effort. I mentioned the fact that he deserved to be on the losing side. Good work from Julian O'Neill. And for once, Bradford just a little bit slow in getting the market up.
And he caught the stray elbow of Paul Deacon in his face.
Just about to make the point, Eddie, about the psychological lift that Bradford would have got if they could have kept Wigan pointless.
Farrell with the conversion, he's missed it. It's gone the wrong side of the post. That could be a very important miss. His second miss of the night. Newton's try, though, has given Bradford some hope. Yeah, well, we were just checking the records. We don't think, actually, that Wigan have ever been nilled in Super League before. They haven't now. And the last time they did end up pointless was in that ill-fated World Club Challenge in 1997. And Newton leaves the field after scoring the try with blood pouring from the nose.
Stay behind. Right, this side as well, stay behind. Time on. Stay behind. Hold.
So Wigan back in it, but Deacon kicks off and sends it deep. Radlinski tips it inside to Harvey Howard. And Connor has come on for Terry Newton.
Well, there's a faint hope. They've still got the time. Wigan know, but they've got to score pretty quickly.
Calm down, Stuart.
10.5 minutes to go.
3, clear.
I said at half-time, Eddie, that, OK, stats sometimes tell a lie, but not today. You know, Bradford, they've made 19 tackles around that first and second marker area. Wigan have only done 5. And the offloads are now 20 to Bradford, Wigan 4.
There's a chance for Radlinski.
Oh, he's hurt.
He is.
He went in awkward.
hold, fellas, hold.
I don't think Gardner's too bright either.
That's one. O'Neill with the high kick, it's spinning everywhere. Carney flicks it back. It's still on the last. And this is Johnson. Johnson. It goes backwards again. Still the last. He is Lamb. Wigan will attack down the left-hand side.
Oh, again. Horton has gone in with the elbow. Well, surely the touch judge has seen that.
Wigan might get in here.
No, knock on.
Still the last. Bradlinski! Just short of the line.
Well, something has got to be done about this. The touch judge has not seen that. Everyone in the stadium.
These two I'm concerned about.
And I thought there was a knock on earlier, but well, the touch judge has come out. And this is it. Oh, look, this is the second occasion that Horton has done that. Then surely he's going to have to pay some sort of a price. We can do without that in rugby league. It's been an absolutely fantastic game, played in the best spirit, and that is something we have to get rid of.
Terry, move away.
And thankfully, the touch judge has seen it.
We're not sure where it was, so what we're going to do, we put on report, we give the penalty to Bradford. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Show me where it is.
Report.
Okay, who was it? Simon Hunt. Simon.
It's the second time that Horton has led with the arm.
Andy.
And
Robbie!
This incident will go on report.
Yeah, I want you.
Well, that's legal.
Okay, we've got a report from the touch judge that the tackle's gone in, leading with the arm, right?
I'm sorry, Eddie, but we don't need players like that out of the paddock.
So we put the tackle on.
They're fully professional. It's been an absolutely wonderful game. And why on earth that player has brought that into his repertoire is beyond belief. Not one, but two. Got away with it first time, and I don't think he'll get away with it the second.
Well, we shall see. Inside the last 10 minutes.
Wait for his foot.
And Bradford are 10 minutes away from a famous victory, their first on this ground.
Stand out!
Sixth time lucky it might be. Peacock. Great play. Robbie Paul by Kona. That's it. Game, set and match. Brian Noble and the Bradford Bulls. What a start to the defence of their crowd. What a start from the World Club champions and the champions of the Tetley Super League. By Kona grabs try number 60 for Bradford. He got a try here in defeat in April. He's got a try here in victory in March.
Well, we mentioned the fact that Power has got this Bradford side, the momentum going forward, but the switch to the blind side. There's been two passes tonight. Watch this from Paul. Superb. Sucked the men in. Vicona finished it off. It was Vainicolo's pass on the inside that set it all going. Great work. Two wonderful short passes. They have played like the champions that they are, and they should be proud of it. It has been an absolutely outstanding effort from the Bulls.
So Deacon to try now and add the extras of Vicona's try, the 60th that he has scored in 103 games. He's added them, and Bradford are on their way to their first victory at Wigan since 1997, the year that they won the title.
Look at the first and second markers. They know they're not working for each other, going the same way. They switch to the blind side. It's too late, boys. Far too late. Went too high on the big fella. And that pass, superb skill. That will be pleasing Brian Noble, the Bulls coach. Before they arrived tonight, they had never won here at this stadium. There is little doubt now that they will be victors on the opening game of Super League 7, and what a game it's been.
A knock-on from the short kick-off, and Bradford will have head and feed at the resulting scrum. They're 7 minutes away from celebrating the win. A win it will surely be now. Phil Clark, this is a very significant night, not for Stuart Raper, but for Bradford Bulls and Brian Noble.
An excellent performance from them, and the two tries have been that well constructed that I even saw one or two Wigan fans applauding them. Brilliant play. The first in the first half by Gilmore, and then that last one then by Vicona. Excellent tries, and they've thoroughly deserved the win. I think they've shown too how much work Wigan have got still ahead of them this season. I also have a little bit of sympathy for Wigan, because I feel as though maybe they've been under too much pressure for this match. Very often that can affect your performance, so maybe after this game they can regroup and start again.
Thanks, Phil. 18-4. Bradford have set the marker down for the rest in Super League. A very important win and a highly significant night. The champions will not let go of this crown easy. They topped the table for the third time in 6 summer seasons last year. It was only points difference ahead of Wigan, though. Well, they have struck a huge psychological blow here tonight. And the missed tackles from Wigan, that is horrendous reading for Stuart Raper.
A lot of problems for Stuart. I mentioned the fact that just before half-time, good half break from O'Neill, wonderful offload.
And he's got Connolly away. And Connolly hugs the touchline, but he's caught the ground. First of all by Robbie Paul, and then Stuart fielded. Carney again. Tigerish defence from the Bradford Bulls. Last one, Connolly inside to Lamb. Long ball to Farrell. Short pass from Farrell to Horton. Trapped in possession on the last. That's the turnover.
That's another problem that Stuart Raper will have. Trying to run the power play. It's a lost cause now. The point I was trying to make, Eddie, was that 10 minutes before the half-time break, Wigan looked completely out of it. Maybe it's a bit cruel for what I said at half-time, that they looked a bit underdone. They didn't look all that fit. There's a few out there on the Wigan side that have really put it about. They've worked hard. They've had to. As you say, Stuart Raper knows he's got plenty of work to do. The bookies may be making a slight adjustment to the odds after tonight.
Maybe so. Long way to go yet. Long season ahead of us. But Bradford have certainly put the marker down on this opening night. A terrific display from the champions. And Widnes against St Helens. It's a big night down Widnes Way. Saturday at 6, Sky Sports 1. Widnes come back to the big time, and they play the most successful club of the summer era.
I have to laugh at Stuart Cummins. Jimmy Lowe just had a few words to say to him and said, I don't think I've done knocked on, and Stuart Cummins said, your fingernails just a little bit too long. And he's got it right. It's been a fine opening game for the start of Super League 7. Everyone's played their part. Touch judges, the official Stuart Cummins, and the players have put their bodies on the line. Can't wish for better than that.
This is O'Neill. This is Connolly at dummy half. Here's Johnson. Cassidy. O'Connor. Credit Wigan, they won't turn it in right to the final siren, but not even Wigan can get back 14 points in 3 minutes. It's all over. Bradford have won this, and Brian Noble knows it too. He's making his way down to the side. A nothing pass.
Well, he's obviously going to be celebrating the win, but we won't be impressed if this Bradford outfit concede a try late in the game.
This is Lamb, and it's out wide. A tester for Vicona, and Vicona comes up with a good. He's big and he's strong enough and he's quick enough to score. Vicona's through one. It's Vicona against Wigan. He's come this way. They can't get a hand on it. The support arrived from McAvoy. Now it's there with Forshaw. Well, Super League history if Vicona had scored that. But they might get over for another anyway. Here is Brandon Costin.
Been a wonderful team effort from the Bulls tonight. Just shows you the importance of the forwards laying that platform, and they are thoroughly enjoying it out there.
Field and driving it in.
Full credit to Wigan though, they're sticking to it.
Lowe's, still Lowe's, and there's a stab through, and Wigan have it back. Carney on that occasion was the more eager. Oh, slack pass. Radlinski said, what's going on?
He got one for his corner as well there, but McDermott didn't miss, and he looks ruefully at the touch judge.
This is Horton now, who steps out of the challenge of Costin. Horton is away. He's got Connolly there, but dragged to the ground by Peacock. He is Lamb. Lamb to Cassidy. It goes wide, and here's Ainscow. Dallas is outside it. Well, I don't know why he kicked, although it's not bad, but it's far too long in the end. Why did he just give it to the winger, Brett Dallas?
Well, maybe he's underdone, and Dallas not too impressed. He would have been a hero, but he really should have committed Robbie Paul to go into the tackle, and then he would have had to wing it outside.
Not the best option.
Nope. But he would have scored, he would have taken all the glory, but two brickbats there.
Well, Brian Noble said this match would not make or break the Bradford Bulls season, but Stuart Raper was pretty confident yesterday that it would be Wigan's turn, but it might not make or break the season, but it has given the Bulls one heck of a lift and has given the competition a lift.
And not only that, it's given Wigan a real shake-up.
Kick from O'Neill's looking for Carney. McAvoy's under it, and it bounces back, and Gilmore has it, and we're in the last minute, and Gilmore is grounded now by Cassidy, and that is it. Brian Noble's men have won a famous victory, a victory at some cost maybe. Shake hands with the opposition before you celebrate. That's what they do in rugby league, and now the celebrations will start. Vinacolo and Withers with pretty bad injuries, but they have got home tonight with the 2 championship points, and what's more, they have broken their hoodoo here at the JJB Stadium, and 2 former players, Lee Gilmore and Mike Forshaw, have come back to haunt their former club. Bradford have won it. An opening night to savour. Bradford have not lost the opening night in Super League history. Wigan have.